I'm Dave, and this is Austin Eats. So check this out. This is what can happen to the chimney cap on your Kamado Joe. At first, the black finish started bubbling up and peeling off. Now the areas of exposed aluminum are corroding. But what's really aggravating is that the cap gets stuck. Now, most days that I come out to fire up the grill, I struggle to open the top vent. It looks terrible, and now it doesn't function. And this is the second cap. I replaced the old one about a year ago when it failed. I will not make the same mistake again. So I'm going to fix this little problem once and for all. If you've seen my channel, you know that I think the Kamado Joe is a phenomenal grill. I've owned several of them and made the move to the Kamado Joe from the Big Green Egg back in 2019. I love this grill and I use it for just about everything. If you have one, you probably feel the same way about yours. The problems with this chimney cap are more than just cosmetic, they're functional. Grease and soot create black gunk that clogs up the channel where the top and bottom pieces fit together. That's what makes the vent incredibly difficult to adjust. I know you're thinking, but did you try cleaning it? Yes, I did. I tried hot soapy water. I tried a small brush. I tried a big brush. I tried pipe cleaners and cotton swabs. I tried dental picks and degreaser. I even tried steam. I know you're thinking, but did you try running it through the dishwasher? Well, of course not, it's aluminum. Oh, now you're thinking, but did you try lubricating it? Yes, I did that too. I tried multiple types of food-safe grease. And you know what worked? Nothing. I'm not the only one experiencing this frustration. It's a well-known problem that people have been complaining about for years. Sometimes you just need a bigger hammer, and that's what this video is all about. I've wasted too much time trying to get this to work. Now I'm on a mission to replace the chimney cap with one that actually does work. I didn't want another factory replacement that would just have the same issue all over again. So I did some research and I purchased several alternative solutions to find out which one would be the best chimney cap. I was not paid to do this video, nor did any of the manufacturers provide me with free products to test. I bought all of these on my own, so the opinions in this video are all mine. First up, we're going to revisit the original heavy-duty cast iron daisy wheel chimney cap. This cap is durable, has pretty good airflow control, and is simple to operate. It is built like a tank. Next up is the KAMaster. This is a cast iron daisy wheel cap with a flip-up rain lid. Then we have the Skyflame. It's a stainless steel cap with a rotating barrel. This also has a flip-up rain cap. Finally, I have the SmokeWare chimney cap, also made from stainless steel. It has a pretty good reputation for being rust-proof and able to handle any weather. We're going to look at each one. We'll look at the build quality, how easy they are to install, and how they handle low and slow cooking. By the end, we'll know which one is actually worth your money. The first replacement that I wanted to test was the original cast iron daisy wheel chimney cap that came on the Classic Joe 1. I used to have one and it did a pretty good job at controlling the airflow. It's heavy, it's simple, and if you treat it right, it'll last a long time. The airflow control is great, but cast iron comes with a few quirks. You really do have to keep it seasoned with a thin layer of oil, just like a cast iron skillet, or it will start to rust, especially in wet climates. I tried getting one and surprisingly could not. None of my local barbecue stores had it in stock, so I ordered one directly from Kamado Joe. After 12 days, it hadn't shipped, so I canceled the order. I have to assume that they are either back ordered or they're being phased out. I recall 3 problems with the daisy wheel chimney cap. First, it leaked. Not only was cooking even in a light rain challenging, but having it exposed to rain was a problem. Water would get any residual charcoal wet and make it unusable. Water would also get in the bottom and mix with all that ash and create a mess. Second, it was heavy and it would not always stay seated on top of the lid. More than once I opened the lid and the whole chimney cap came flying off. Third, it was made from cast iron and wood rust if exposed to moisture. The KAMaster is by far the heaviest of the bunch. This thing is made out of cast iron and appears to be powder coated. It has a flip up top, which is kind of nice. So it has a little ratchet system built in right here. You can hear it, sort of positive detent to hold it in the up position. It also has the daisy wheel that we used to see on the original Kamado Joe and also the Big Green Egg. And this plate does slide open in order to give you full airflow. Now, that's kind of nice, I suppose, to have that in the rain, assuming that the latch lasts. Now, one concern that I have on this particular one is that the diameter on this. This measures 5.5 inches or 140 millimeters, which is very, very close to the exact diameter of the top of the Kamado Joe chimney. So we'll see how this ends up working out. So the Skyflame has a lid that does tilt up to give you maximum airflow if you need it. However, the lever does not have any rubber protector on it, and the whole thing sounds kind of tinny. And I think that's because if we look on the inside of this thing, the barrel in the center is not round. In fact, it's horribly out of round, and I think that just contributes to the problem. The Skyflame is made of stainless steel, 45 thousandths of an inch thick. So the SmokeWare is a stainless steel chimney cap that has 3 vent openings on it and a little rubberized tab to do the adjustments. And although you can hear it, it certainly doesn't sound tinny and cheap like one of the other ones that we looked at. This does not, however, have a top that flips up. It comes off, so presumably if you had to run it wide open to heat up your Kamado Joe, you could simply take the top off. The fit and finish on this one is by far the best of all of the bunch. It's made with polished stainless steel. Not sure how long that's going to look that way, but certainly out of the box it's pretty darn nice. I noticed on their website that they sell these little replacement tabs, and I would recommend buying those and having them available because you just never know when one's going to fail. The SmokeWare is made of stainless steel, 42 thousandths of an inch thick. Okay, to swap this up, first thing we have to do is get the existing cap off. There we go. The top of the Kamado Joe measures 5.5 inches or 140 millimeters, which is the exact inside dimension of the first top I want to try. This is the cast iron top with the flip lid, and as you can see, it clearly may or may not fit. So first thing I've got to do is pull off this tape, this gasket. All right, so that's off. Now I want to clean that off a little bit so that the new gasket actually will stick. So I'm going to use an alcohol swab and just kind of go around this. The residue from the original gasket is not going to come off. That's okay. I'm just trying to remove any dirt or grease, and there's plenty of it, so that I have a good chance of this thing actually adhering. Now let's see how this fits. This is the only one, by the way, that did not come with a felt gasket to go around this. And look at that. Although this says it will fit on the Kamado Joe, it clearly does not. It is on maybe a 1/4 of an inch, and the minute I lift that top up, this thing is gone. So that is a no-go. So next up, we're going to try the Skyflame. The Skyflame is 170 millimeters in diameter, and it came with this about 1 inch thick piece of felt that is sticky back that will go around the side. I'm going to have to trim that a little bit, but that would work. Before I do that, I want to try the fit on this thing just to see how far down it goes, because the top of this is tapered, so I need to know where it'll sit. Well, this goes all the way down nicely with a very slight rack on it. So that tells me that the taper on this is, of course, wider at the bottom. Therefore, I'm going to put this piece of felt I'm going to install this piece of felt about right there. Then that might make a nice fit. Next, I'll try the SmokeWare. The SmokeWare top also has an inside diameter of 147 millimeters, but it came with a different type of gasket. This larger gasket on the right is what came with the SmokeWare. The smaller one on the left is what came with the Skyflame. Now, although it's bigger, there's another difference here, and that is that the felt on this, or the gas material, actually feels like felt, whereas the one that came with the Skyflame actually has a plastic quality, a plastic feel to it, and I'm a little concerned that this is not going to handle heat very well at all. So out of the box, I'll tell you, I like the gasket material that came with the SmokeWare a little bit better. And again, I would probably set this up high, but let's try it on and see how it fits. So I like the fit of the SmokeWare cap best of all because it has this beveled bottom. It follows the contour of the Kamado Joe top. So they thought that through. It really kind of hugs nicely. It will still need the gasket, of course, to hold it in place. Unlike the Skyflame, this does not have a lid that flips up. You can only adjust it through the vent opening. It does, however, have 3 vent openings, so we will measure the airflow on all 3 of these. Going to see where this lines up. So it's a little bit long, so I'm going to trim that. All right, let's see how that looks. Pretty good. All right, that's going to go around the top. Because this is tapered, you want to make sure that you're getting a good seal. And the best way to do this is put this on just at the top edge of the lip here. Now again, I'm a little long, so I'm going to trim it a little bit more. There we go. So we're going to try the Skyflame. So I get a good nice snug fit. Goes down, does not wobble, pretty stable. I like that. I'm still not crazy about that. But we'll see how this does when we fire it up. Let's see how the SmokeWare fits. Oh, like a glove. So this is actually more snug going down than the Skyflame. Okay, that's beautiful. Love it. All right, so let's fire up the grill and see how they do. So I do a lot of low and slow cooking on my Kamado Joe. Think of brisket maybe, or pork shoulder, tri-tip, anything like that where I want to cook for a long time. I usually set it up with my fireboard for 250 degrees. When I cook this way, I always have the lid completely closed. The fan on the fireboard will push more than enough air through to keep the temperature plus or minus a couple of degrees. Well, this lid is completely closed, and I'm noticing already I'm up to 269 degrees. I'm going to see just how far this is going to go. The fan is completely off, the lid is completely closed, and it's already zoomed way past the temperature that I want. So that's a problem. Let's see how far this will go before it stabilizes. So the Skyflame hit a high of 270 degrees and finally stabilized at 269.4. That's not good. I need to be at plus or minus a couple of degrees when I'm cooking low and slow. The problem is the gap between those barrels, it just leaks a lot of air. All right, let's try the SmokeWare and see how we do. So to test the SmokeWare, all I did was remove the Skyflame chimney cap and put on the SmokeWare chimney cap. That's it. I shut it all the way down and just waited. Within about 20 minutes, it absolutely stabilized at right around 250 degrees. Check this out. And look at the graph. And it has maintained that temperature now for about the last 20 minutes. So clearly the SmokeWare is much better at helping you maintain low and slow, and that's because of the very, very close tolerances there are in the manufacturing process. This thing does not leak air. That is a good thing. Okay, on to the high temp test. So for the high temp test, all I'm going to do is remove my fireboard, remove my probe, crank it wide open, and I'm going to remove the fan. So with the high temp test, what I'm really checking here is airflow. When I did the math, the SmokeWare has about 3% more vent area than the Skyflame. It has 3 vents versus 2 on the Skyflame. The SmokeWare are trapezoids and the Skyflame are rectangles. So I've had my SmokeWare wide open for about 30 minutes. Let's see how we did. Wow, look at that. We are at 800 degrees on the nose. All right, I'm going to very carefully swap that out, put the Skyflame back on, and see how we do. Okay, for the Skyflame, again, wide open, it came up to just about 815 degrees. Okay, so check this out. The Skyflame got the Kamado Joe up to about 810 degrees. I went to shut it down, and not only can I not touch this with my bare hands, but I can't even move it. It is just, oh, there it goes. It's just, wow, it's really, listen to that. Listen to it grind. Wow, that's interesting. So what did I learn? Well, the KAMaster did not fit on my Classic Joe, so that was out. The Skyflame leaked air even when fully closed. When I tried running at 250 degrees using my fireboard, the temperature ran up well above 250. In addition, the fit of the rotating barrel is not good, and there are people who have complained about those little spot welds holding on the cap failing. Then there's the SmokeWare, and clearly that's the one. It's simple to operate, it's built well, it won't rust, it handles rain, and it just feels like a premium part. It's shiny polished steel right out of the box, but you should expect that to change. The color of stainless steel will often change with high heat, but that will not affect the functionality. I recommend the SmokeWare as a replacement chimney cap with one caveat. You need to order a set of replacement silicone tabs. They are exposed to high heat and will dry out and fall off over time, so you might as well have extras on hand. So you don't have to live with peeling paint and a stuck chimney cap. Upgrading your chimney cap is one of the easiest modifications you can make to your Kamado Joe. Let me know in the comments below what your biggest problem has been with the Kamado Joe. I'll investigate it and do a video on it. By the way, I have a new cookbook out. Click on the link in the description to check it out. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And while you're at it, check out my Kamado Joe 101 playlist where I discuss other problems, accessories, and recipes, all for the Kamado Joe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Austin Eats.